Blame Truth here, and before I get into the meat and potatoes, I just want to say thank you guys for 500,000 subscribers. I have historically been bad at promoting myself and telling you guys to sub and whatnot. I think more of you watch my stuff and you're not subbed than if you are. It's just not really that big of a deal anymore. You can still see my stuff whether you're subbed or not. But either way, it's a historic number. I appreciate it. Also, I just want to take a moment to say, like, rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. It feels like my childhood and the people in it that impacted me, the larger-than-life characters, it's just like they're just going away and there's nobody there to fill their shoes. Do you get what I'm saying with that? Like, who is going to replace these people? I just don't know, man. I just do not know. But either way, this is a gaming video. And as always, let's get into the meat and potatoes because I got a lot I want to get off my chest. So guys, I just want to start this video off with the Battlefield 6 trailer, the reveal trailer. It's a pretty simple one, but I will say this. It feels more like Call of Duty than Call of Duty does now. I get that Call of Duty's trailers are like a thing that's usually praised no matter what. It's always a bait and switch though, so I can't really trust them. You know, you might be saying, oh, the truth lies and there's a government conspiracy going on and all this stuff, and then you play the campaign and it's 3 hours of like nonsensical garbage, and then whatever they're doing with the actual story in fucking multiplayer and stuff. I saw Nero cover this. How in the fuck can you do any sort of narrative in multiplayer when after you see this narrative, and the narrative doesn't make sense, by the way, everyone's complaining about it, but I mean, how can you even do a narrative story-driven thing in the multiplayer component and Warzone component when after you see it, you boot it up and you see weed-smoking lizards, American Dad, and Beavis and Butthead, and the Ninja Turtles all jerking each other off in the fucking corner? Like, how do you even try to do a story? Like, what's the point? Just skip it! Skip the fucking cutscenes and make the game worth playing, you talentless hacks! But I digress. Let's take a look at the Battlefield 6 trailer and the responses. It is night and day from the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 trailer, which I'll also cover after the fact because it's been a good while now. Let's see where things are landing in the like, the dislike zone on that particular trailer. And look, guys, if you think I'm here to just suck Battlefield 6's dick and to say, like, I believe in EA, you are incredibly wrong. And if you want that style of video, you should go watch someone who flip-flops their opinion constantly and, like, you know, fanboys over the simplest shit. I learned my lesson doing that with Battlefield 2042, and I'm just not going to make that mistake again. But I do want to show you guys the comment section. And you can see that right off the rip here, it's just night and day from the Black Ops 7 when I showed you a month ago. I mean, yeah, there's some critical stuff here, like no pre-orders, you know, wait and see what happens before you purchase the game and whatnot. But for the most part, people are hopeful. And the like to dislike ratio, which I'll show in just a second, really, it seems like people are genuinely pulling for this game to succeed. And, you know, I'm right there with you. The people in the comments saying we just want the pure Battlefield experience like the golden days. No flashy skins, no over-the-top weapons, just raw, gritty war. Bring back the chaos, the teamwork, the atmosphere. That's what Battlefield was always about. Please, DICE, bring this legendary franchise back to the top. No goofy outfits, no festive outfits either when holidays come around. This is a war game. No outlandish camos such as pink, purple, etc. So many people would run around with rainbow guns breaking the immersion. Keep the same energy shown in the trailer for the entire game life cycle, and it will succeed. The people are telling you exactly what they want. It is up to you, EA and DICE, to deliver. You already fucked up, and I'm sorry, I gotta be realistic. You already fucked up once. They already had a layup, and they already fucking failed. When Vanguard came out, for example, That was the easiest they've ever had it to overtake Call of Duty that year, and they released a game that was somehow arguably worse than Vanguard. Vanguard was made in like 8 months with a skeleton crew at Sledgehammer. God awful, glitchy, buggy, unfinished piece of garbage mess that just disrespected World War II, much like, they're disrespecting the Gulf War now. But anyway, the point is that overall people are more positive, as you can see here in the comments section. Oh, and how could I forget? I didn't see any botted comments in my quick scroll through. There was no Mendez Catarina saying, this video was amazing, learned a lot. So that should tell you right off the bat that they're just promoting the game as normal. They're not botting to make up for their tiny little fucking peckers over at Activision Blizzard like they do. So yeah, that's a good sign. Speaking of Activision Blizzard, let's take a look at how the Black Ops 7 trailer is doing, guys. The like to dislike ratio is shocking, and however bad it's about to appear on the screen, make no mistake, we found out through actual science, by the way, and people talking about it and informing me of how the like to dislike ratio add-on on Chrome works, that whatever that number is, it's worse than what it's actually showing. Check this out. We are at a confirmed, and this is like a low ball kind of estimate. It's probably closer to the 140K likes that the video has, which I'm not even sure is legit at this point. We've covered them lying profusely. We've covered them botting. I just don't buy it. I don't buy the player numbers or the player number rankings, because every time I see an unbiased source report the actual numbers for Call of Duty, it never matches up. The comments section is overwhelmingly negative. I showed this before, but this is what it is now. It's not gotten any better. If anything, it's gotten worse as more comments have flooded in. The bills can't be that high, Activision. Just imagine how bad the bundles are going to be for this one. Can't wait to download 600 gigabytes for 2 new maps, 3 weapons, and 40 minutes of campaign. Happy to say I'm 5 years strong without buying a COD. Now it's about to be 6th. I mean, look at these fucking comments and tell me this is the minority now. It's not. You are delusional. There are more people pissed off at this franchise than there are people that like it now. I am convinced. Stop bullshitting me with fake numbers, with fake comments from Mendez Catarina and his robot cartel. Take your O-face thumbnails and where your mouth is making that shape, shove a fat cock into it. Stop it. Get it out of here. I don't buy it. The trust is gone. The trust is lost. Stop. Just stop. There is some good news, though. There is some good news. I found out some stuff, and I'm going to share that with you after a brief word from this video sponsor, because that's not the only thing I found out about. So I just found out something wild about stem cells. They are like tiny repair crews in your body that go and fix things that need to be fixed. This is Ronnie Coleman, 8 times Mr. Olympia, and a man who squatted 800 pounds like it was nothing, sharing how stem cells helped him when nothing else could.
When you went on Rogan, he wanted to refer you to stem cells.
For the last 2 years, I've been getting stem cells, and it's been the best thing that has ever happened to me in my life.
Really?
Yeah, but you got to go out of this country to do it, because they don't really allow the real stem cells that comes from the placenta,
Yeah.
They don't allow that here in the United States because of politics.
What exactly is stem cells?
So my understanding is that they're like blank cells. They can transform to anything you surround themselves with, they'll turn into that. So if you inject them in your leg, they'll turn into leg cells.
It wipes out the pain I go through. Because I have a herniated disc in my upper back still. As soon as I get the stem cell injection, it completely goes away.
How much is it?
$2,800
Per
injection.
Where'd you go?
Port of Arta, Mexico.
So yeah, they're crazy expensive. You got to go outside the country to get them. I mean, stem cells could regenerate your joints, repair your spine, even reverse organ damage. Yet in the US, most of these therapies are just illegal. Why? Because healing you doesn't make them money. Keeping you sick does. The FDA has cracked down on nearly all clinics offering real regenerative therapies. Not because they're unsafe, but if you could repair your knees without surgery, fix your back without opioids, and reverse aging without a prescription, who loses? Big Pharma, insurance companies, hospital chains, etc. They don't want you to be strong. They don't want you to be independent. They want you hooked on meds, on insurance, on a job you hate just to afford basic health. Because a self-sufficient, pain-free population, that is simply unprofitable and ungovernable. But my guys at Black Forest Supplements developed cocoa flavanols. Studies have been done to show that the flavanols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees coming out of a beehive in your bloodstream. They go out and fix whatever's wrong, your heart, your liver, whatever it is, they'll fix it. Harvard scientist Dr. William Lee actually backs this up. Check it out.
Well, clinical studies have been done with high flavanol cocoa to show that in like men who are in their 60s with heart disease, they could actually just have 2 cups of dark chocolate hot cocoa a day for a month. And they doubled the amount of stem cells in their bloodstream, and their circulation improved measurably.
This is not your average cocoa, it's a stem cell power-up. I mix it in with my coffee, protein shakes, what have you. It tastes great, and the benefits are real. No sugar, only 20 calories. Guys, if you are experiencing significant aging, slow recovery, weak immunity, or just feeling off, blame your lazy stem cells. Guess what though? Cocoa flavanols activate them like a fountain of youth in a scoop. So guys, go to my link in the description or pinned comment. For the next 48 hours, you can get a whopping 40% off promo discount. Stock up while you can, and again guys, that is Black Forest High Flavanol Cocoa. All right, guys, welcome back to the main course here. Love me some BFS, though. Their stuff is great. Definitely pick you some up. I feel amazing right now making this commentary because of them. And you know what else? I feel amazing because we actually got a win. And it's almost like I have been right since the beginning. And I hate to keep repeating that, to be completely honest, because I would rather be wrong and us have good fucking games, but that is not how the world works. So I'm just gonna keep tooting my own horn a little bit. Sorry, but that's me tooting. I was right yet again. You see, when you call stuff out and when you put your foot down and when you realize that you, the consumer, have the power, then things change for the better. Check this out right here, okay? Microsoft has conceded that $80 retail price was too high for their holiday releases. The Outer Worlds 2 is being reduced back to $69.99 and refunds will be issued. It's like I said back when I kind of revived this channel in 2019, man. You put your foot down, you say no to this bullshit, you express disdain as a customer, and you will get your way. If you bend over or you spread your legs and you say, be gentle with me, Daddy Activision, man, you give them an inch, they will take a mile. You cannot do that. You have to be upset and call out the bullshit when they feed it to you. That is the only way we get change. So at the very least, this holiday season, this crappy Black Ops 7 game is going to be $70, not $80. That's a small win. Unfortunately, it's not all good because as of right now, unless we continue to make a stink about it, Battlefield 6 is still set to be $80. And I don't know, man. They're trying to undercut Call of Duty. And this is where I'm kind of worried here, okay? They're trying to, like, get out a month before Call of Duty comes out. Because the release date already leaked, so it's going to be October. And while that's cool, and, like, that's great if the game is finished, that is a big motherfucking if, is it not, viewer? Let's really be realistic here. Let's temper our expectations down because the last I heard, Battlefield 6 was coming out like early next year. I think it was like March of 2026. Look, I don't want this game to be a rush job. We saw what happened with XDefiant. Mark Rubin actually revealed that he didn't want to release the game when it released. Ubisoft pushed them to do that to beat Black Ops 6 to the punch. And then by the time the game was like where he wanted it to be, the stupid fucks at Ubisoft closed it down. Like when the game was really jumping into high gear and Black Ops 6 players were jumping off the cliff like lemmings. Ubisoft shut it down. I mean, these suits, the suits at EA, the suits at Ubisoft, the suits at Activision, they just, how do I say it?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
God, say what you want about our last two presidents, but great memes out of both sides, really.
Hello.
Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. They need to lower the price by $10 to match whatever Microsoft Activision's doing. That's, I mean, it's only $10, but in the grand scheme of things, it represents just colossal greed. Absolutely no AAA game is worth $70 fucking on top of having microtransactions already. 80 is just insulting. Keep it 70 and shut the fuck up. You got enough money, bro. Like, seriously. I don't know what else to say other than that. EA, you need to put your greed on hold. I mean, if we remember, let's not be too optimistic here about Battlefield and EA in general, because we're going to go over the whole shebang here just to really give you guys a taste on how shitty they can be. I mean, if you don't follow like Madden or the NBA games or whatever, or hell, even the last Battlefield, maybe you didn't follow 2042, I'm gonna just cut away. Like Enders, you should watch this entire video, by the way. Enders made a video. It's just a comprehensive Battlefield 2042 review video on everything they messed up. Everything they messed up with that release. Here's a clip from it. I want you to pay attention and tell me if this portion does not sound like what I was saying about Black Ops 6 and their horrendous dog water, just most likely AI-generated maps, okay?
When we're talking about Battlefield 2042 maps, it's very important to understand just how bad they truly are in comparison to, well, any other Battlefield game. This isn't normal bad. This set an entire new bar for just how bad some of these map designs can be. For instance, those of you that played the game on launch will remember the fact that they put points on the top of skyscrapers in Breakthrough, which led to literally uncappable objectives. Some maps were so open and desolate, like Hourglass, that you could easily spend a few minutes without seeing another enemy player. But even Kaleidoscope and Hourglass aren't as bad as Manifest. Manifest is a great example of a map that had absolutely no thought put into it whatsoever. It seemingly was constructed in about 10 minutes simply using one map asset, the crate, and this became a meme. Whenever DICE tried to rework a map, they would simply put more crates and more sandbags, and they would copy-paste these things everywhere. And when it came time to quote-unquote rework Manifest, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That same mantra stayed true, except when they reworked Manifest, it played the exact same as it already did. They spent months to accomplish a quote-unquote rework of the map and accomplished exactly nothing.
So yeah, guys, that was not that long ago. It really wasn't. And let's take a look at some of EA's other stuff, like the NBA 2K25 game that came out last year. 64% liked this video game. I mean, Google users, they are just addicted to hitting thumb up on even the most mid-ass shit. So to see a game rated at only 64% is worrisome. I'm using Google reviews, by the way, like Google users, because they are the most positive, just brain rot casuals, sorry, it's true, that you'll ever see reviewing something. This isn't like a very critical metric I'm going by at all. And I think you guys can back me up there. This is not Metacritic or Reddit or whatever. This is just Google reviews. Hit a thumb up or a thumb down. You're done. Check this out. Look at this review as an example, okay? So this is going to be cut into two different portions here because this guy's review is this long. Where to begin? A game worth €80 and it's unplayable unless you spend more. Everything in this game is made to make you buy more VC, virtual currency. Wow, that sounds really familiar, doesn't it? Example, you can purchase skill boost and Gatorade boost for your player, and when your player is playing online, let's say they could try to dunk and miss, but if you had just bought that dunking skill boost, you might have made it. And same with Gatorade Boost, which when you bought can give you a significant stamina advantage. If you buy all of these, you will probably barely turn a profit in VC from wins, and maybe might lose VC and are stuck in the cycle of not having the VC to improve your character unless, of course, you reach into your pocket again and pay even more. If you do not and you're facing an opponent who bought the boost, you will probably be outperformed. A blatant pay-to-win system. Let's go to the second part of the review here. A battle pass was added last year that has pay for options and gives you different advantages too, which you can also just pay to get straight away. I could just imagine being a young kid or teen getting this game for your birthday or Christmas. Your parents paid for the most expensive game in the shop, and you begin to play only to realize your character is useless and can't do anything unless you pay more or put easily over 100 hours into the game being terrible. One of the issues is 2K has no competition currently and gets away with a lot because of this. They do this every year, and every year people have paid money to temporarily own a build, and by the next release, it's basically worthless. It's almost a kind of evil genius way of scamming your loyal customer base to pay and end up with nothing to show for it eventually. That sounds so much like Call of Duty. Does it not? That this is an EA game I am talking about here, okay? If you think it's just NBA 2K, let's take a look at Madden. I've been calling Call of Duty military Madden. Let's take a look at Madden. And I gotta be completely honest. Let's call a spade a motherfucking spade here real quick. What they're doing in the yearly sports titles actually sounds a little bit worse than what Call of Duty's doing. Yes, Call of Duty is using casino-based matchmaking and giving you all this FOMO stuff and giving you, by the way, actual paid-for advantages with either dark-colored skins, or Hunter TV found out that Stan's fucking giant-ass head hitbox is actually smaller. I'm not kidding. What? How do you mess up something as basic as hitboxes unless it's intentional? But either way, let's take a look at Madden, okay? Madden 25 has a whopping 41% like to dislike ratio on Google reviews. I just look at this review here, okay? Short and sweet, short and sweet. Unfortunately, another roster update Madden. They're reselling Madden 2004 hit sticks as Boom Tech, but with the visual cue. MUT is still very much a gambler's paradise. Buy packs to get the best players, and even then you can drop thousands and still not get the best players because pack odds make casinos look amazing. Franchise is laughable at best. Superstar is nowhere near where it needs to be, like the Madden 06 to 08 days. Can't wait for them to resell us this. Gameplay is horrible, to put it nicely. Zones are traffic cones. Man coverage is either standing still or Charles Xavier level of mind reading. There is no pass rush unless you bug out an already horrendous O-line with your user and glitch them out with disengage glitching. Let's not even get started with DBs dropping easy interceptions because they don't have abilities, but somehow this year linebackers can jump out of the blue, where in years past you needed lurk artists to be able to jump. Most yearly playing Madden players say this year is the worst all the time when a new Madden drops. This is the one year where we're right. If I could give negative stars, that would still be too high. The company that owns Madden, the company that owns NBA 2K and pushes this shit out is behind Battlefield. I just really want to put that into perspective here. Yes, I do believe we have Vince Zampella on the Battlefield team this year, but we saw with Mark Rubin, an ex-COD guy who was beloved back in the day, even with X-Defiant, and how much people liked that game, Ubisoft pulled the plug on it. Who's to say Battlefield 6 isn't a success with the community, and then the higher-ups at EA force all these terrible microtransactions on us, or pull the plug on updates updates on the game because maybe the player count isn't where they want it to be at in comparison to the next Call of Duty slop or whatever. Who knows? All I know is this. Don't get your hopes up too high for Battlefield 6. I am rooting for him. I really am. But it's owned by a similar greedy company. And we all saw what monopolization can do to anything in this space, whether it be Call of Duty, Madden, NBA, whatever. Dude, that's all I got time for, though, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts below. Hit that notification bell and all that good stuff. And I will catch you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.